Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you how to do a winged out smoky eye. Ooh, sultry. With using tape. You heard it here first, folks. I'm just kidding. This has been around for forever. People have been doing it for forever, but if you don't know how to do it, I'm gonna show you how to do it. It is super easy, super fun, and look, super spicy. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so if you want to learn how to do a winged out smoky eye, just keep on watching and let's get to it. First thing I'm gonna be doing is priming my eyes. This is very important. Do not skip this step. It's going to prevent creasing, it's going to keep your eyeshadow on all day, and it's going to keep it looking bright and beautiful. Today I'm going to be using the MAC Paint Pot in Soft Ochre? Whatever. That's what I'm using. It is tried and true. I absolutely love this for priming my eyes. It just makes the colors pop. I'm just gonna get a little on my brush and swipe that sucker onto my eyes. I would use my finger for this part, but my nails are way too long. So I'm going to take this primer and I'm going to put it all the way up to my brow, even out onto my face a little bit, because that's where some of our shadow is going to be going. So basically any place that your shadow touches, you're gonna wanna prime. So I'm just going to tap that in, tap it out onto the face a touch. Okay, now that my eyes look like SpongeBob, let's move on to tape. So what you're going to do is just get a short piece, I don't know, like 2.5 inches, something like that. And we are going to go from this outer corner up. All right, I'm just going to apply the tape and press that in place. So let's pretend my bottom lash line, if it was to continue going up, you're gonna follow that natural line and that's where you're gonna put your tape. You don't want it straight out on your face. You're gonna pretend that this line was just to keep going. That's where you wanna tape. Got it? Got it. Same thing on the other eye. So you wanna make it as even as possible. Give it a little look over. Say, are they the same? Are they even? Are they both headed for the same journey? Because that's what we're looking for, baby. And my verdict is close enough. All right, so today for my eyes, I'm going to be using the Tati Beauty palette. You can use any palette you want. You don't have to do this in browns. You could do it in blues and purples and blacks and whatever you want. It's gonna be the same technique. So whatever you like, go for it. I'm just going to be using this today. The thing I like to do is kind of map out the shape with my medium shade. Not my lightest, not my darkest, but the medium. So I'm going to go into the palette with the shade Smooth. So I'm going to go in with a fluffy blending brush. So just lightly dipping into that, I'm going to press down on the outer corner of my eye because that's where I want it to be darkest. And keep in mind, wherever you put your brush down first is where it's gonna be deepest. So that's why I'm pressing it down to my outer corner of my eye. I'm gonna start pulling that color out onto my face to create that snatched shape. All right, so now we're starting to get that shape, but I wanna blend that up and kind of blend that out. So just windshield wiper motions, friends, back and forth on the edge of that color, bringing it up and over. All right, so this is how your shape should be looking right about now. A little darker here and started to fade out when it goes up this way and fade out when it goes this way. All right, now that that is looking good, I'm going to go in with the shade Ritual and I'm going to pack that into my outer corner and slowly start to blend that up, but I'm not going to carry that shade up as high. I'm gonna keep it lower and closer to the tape line and bring it across my lid, but not above my crease line. And I'm gonna be going in with a much smaller blending brush. So packing that onto my lid, kind of bringing it out onto the tape a little bit. Now I'm gonna knock off the excess on my brush and I'm going to blend out right on the edge of that color. And I'm gonna bring it over a little bit, but I'm being super light-handed, like I'm barely touching my eye. If it starts getting up too high, I'm gonna go back to my bigger blending brush and just blend out right in my crease because it should have a little bit of that medium shade still on it. And just blend that out. All right, so I personally like to cut out my crease a little bit. So I'm going to take a white concealer to do that. I'm gonna be using the ColourPop No Filter Concealer in their white shade. So I'm gonna be going in with a flat packing brush. Just gonna get a little bit on my brush, not too much. And tap on my lid. And I don't want this to be really harsh towards the outer part of my eye. So I'm gonna kind of blend that in with the darker color. Grabbing my little blending brush and kind of blending that a little bit. All right, so it should look something like this. Then I'm going to go into my Tati palette again and use the shade Soothe, but I'm using the glitter, and I'm going to stamp that all over where I put that concealer. And I'm actually going to be using an even smaller packing brush so I get a lot of precision with this glitter. This is my favorite part. I'm so excited for this. Let's go. Look at that. Holy freaking that's beautiful. I love it. Do not worry about any fallout. We can clean that up before we do our face. Wow, that is so freaking pretty. I'm gonna throw up. All right, so now we're gonna be going in with black, adding that wing and smoking it out. So I'm actually going to take this really crusty dusty angled brush, and I'm gonna take the NYX Radiant Finish Setting Spray, and I'm going to spray a little bit into the cap and dip my brush into it, dip it into black, and make a little cream, if you will. So just take like 2 sprays. There you go. And I'm going to dip my brush into it. And then I'm going to go into the shade, actually I can't even read what it says anymore. Whatever this shade is, the black. So you got it. And I'm going to dip my brush into that now that it's wet and pick up some of the pigment. And I'm gonna kind of mix it on the back of my hand till it makes like a little bit of a paste. I'm going to stamp that, like I'm not pulling, I'm not dragging, I'm stamping that on top of my lash line. And we're gonna go up the tape a little bit, not all the way. Just to about the quarter of the way up. Then we're going to stamp that across our lid, making sure it's thickest on the outer part of our eye, tapering in thinner as we get to our inner corner. So it should look something like that. I'm gonna take this same little concoction here, and I'm going to actually tight line my eyes. So I'm gonna go right in underneath my lash line and stamp this creamy powder stuff into my waterline. This is gonna make your lash line look a lot more full. And I'm gonna be applying fake lashes today, so it's gonna help hide that lash line also. Now that that is dried down, I'm actually gonna go back into the black with a very dense rounded brush. And what we're gonna do is take that black and buff it on top of the black liner that we made and blend it out into the brown, then across our lash line. It's gonna be great. All right, so I just got a little on my brush and I'm gonna stamp that over top of my wing, quote unquote. And we're gonna kind of blend it up a little bit, very, very gently. And you can take some of the black and stamp it over top of the liner you've already put down close to your lash line. It's gonna make it look a little more smoked out, but don't drag it back and forth because you're gonna knock off all the glitter. Just kind of press it on top of it. So that looks pretty good. I'm just gonna do the same thing on this eye. Can you see the difference between this like harsh line opposed to this smoked out line? All right, now that we have finished that, the most satisfying part before I put on lashes, I'm going to remove the tape and reveal the shape. So let's do that. Beautiful. This is so, so satisfying to me. Nailed it. So it looks like we have a perfect smoked out wing. The only thing this eye look is missing is something in my inner corner, which I will do later. I'm gonna pop on a lash real quick. I'm gonna be using Ardell Wispies today for my lashes. The lash glue I'll be using today is a Duo brush on adhesive. This is my favorite freaking lash glue. I love it. All right, so I have a tip. I always brush on the glue onto the lash line, of course. Just enough, not too much, not too little. Just coat it nicely and evenly. And then I take the brush and I actually brush some of the glue onto my lid. I just feel that it does a really good job bonding the lashes with your lid. You don't need a ton. Your lashes will literally never, ever, ever come off. They are there for good. So pro tip, do this every time. Now, before you stick on your lashes, you wanna make sure they dry down a little bit. The glue should be tacky. So just give it like 30 seconds or so, and then your eye should dry down also. Then once it's tacky, you can pop it on there. All right, that should be good enough, so let's do this. So I put it on the middle, then I adjust the end, then I adjust the front. So now that my lashes are on, I'm going to stamp some of my black eyeshadow over top of the lash line just to hide it a little bit. And I'm gonna go back in with my flat angled brush to do this. Literally press it onto that lash line. I'm gonna pop on some mascara on my real lashes to kind of blend them into my fake lashes. I'm using the L'Oreal Telescopic Lift Mascara. Okay, now before I finish the rest of my eyes, like underneath and in my inner corner, I've got to do my face real quick, and I'll be right back and we can finish these eyes and we'll be done. Alright, now that my face is done, let's finish the eyes and we'll call it good. The first thing I want to do is smoke out my lower lash line. I'm going to go back into that medium shade, get it on one of my small, dense, rounded brushes, and I'm going to pack that right underneath my eye, right into my lash line, and kind of blend it out softly. And I'm going to carry this color all the way over to my inner corner, but kind of fading it. So it's gonna be a little darker on the outer corner and fading it lighter into my inner corner. All right, so now for those of you that have lower lashes, now would be a great time to add bottom mascara onto your lower lashes. I have like 3 lower lashes, so I always skip this step. And I don't have any falsies to put on my lower lash line, so we're just gonna ignore that, and it's fine, don't worry about it. All right, so lastly, I'm gonna go in with the Becca highlighter in the shade Pearl. I'm gonna take that same brush that I just used underneath my eye. I'm gonna clean off some of the pigment. Then I'm going to spray it with my Morphe setting spray, or any setting spray you have. I'm going to dip into my highlighter, and it can be any highlighter, just something that's really bright. And I'm gonna pop that into my inner corner. Just like that. And I'm gonna blend it up just a touch and kind of blend it out like that. And just like that, you're done. We did it! Congratulations, you are now the new owner of a beautiful winged out smoky eye, and you look fabulous, baby. Alright, so we have come to the end of the video. I hope you guys found that helpful. If you guys have any questions, make sure to leave them down in the comments below. I'm always happy to help. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, guys!